to try it out? Preload a little bit further back. Right leg needs to go further back. Again. There it is. Now show me right to left. It's easier to transfer because you put more weight on your right foot when you load, so you have more weight to push with. Okay, you ready? Here we go. And that's how quick it's gonna go. So you're gonna go boom, and then snap back right away. Ready? Step back. Yeah, so it shows you're off balance. Uh-huh. You get it? Right to left. Just right. You gotta load more on your right foot. Ready? Here we go. Again. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Good. Just towards your target. Towards your target. Good. Attaboy. Back it up. Back and tip up. Good. Because that's what you need to get used to, okay? Is being able to go back here, a little bit of a drop, and snap out, okay? You've got to let that racket extend out towards your target, just like you're pointing with that trigger finger knuckle, okay? That's how we get that top spin on there. So it's learning to rotate your body without pulling your arms in. So you've got to get used to pushing from right to left and then letting the arm extend without losing balance, right? Look, realize when you push, the racket leads, and then right about the time that your racket crosses your back knee, that's when the push then comes. Your body stays behind your racket, pushes towards your target. We drive with our legs, but the momentum is started with the racket drop. Pat the dog, then push. Pat the dog. Yes. Go to the pat and then freeze. As you come here, so as we pat, this racket opens up. It's what's called racket lag. You know what lag means? Huh? It kind of, that's a video game term. Yeah. Lagging, think of it kind of like, it's glitching like in a game because it's running slowly. So it's going behind. So the racket head is lagging behind the hand. So then we work on snapping at wrist. And then by the time we make contact, the racket head is leading the wrist. So we get a little racket lag here, and then we snap to go out and make contact. But one thing you have to be careful of is when you do your rotation, not rotating your body early, because then that racket lag stays behind, so we get what's called racket drag. Okay, so you're dragging the racket behind your body, and then when you make contact, the racket head is still behind the wrist. And then we pull across, or it might be flat, and you might make some, and some people are pretty decent at it, but you're not going to be able to really control that ball, especially not with spin. You're going to get spun by pulling away from your shot. Go in. Okay? Give me 3 good shadow swings in a row before we go again. Decent, do without losing balance. You will still drop underneath a little bit, okay? There it is. Since we're looking to hit through this ball, you don't drop down quite as far, right? Okay, because if you drop down really far, that increases the angle you got to come up, so that causes the ball to go higher. We are trying to hit through it more, but you will still drop underneath where you want to make contact. Roughly, I would say about a racket face below where you want to make contact. So, if you want to make contact here, drop the racket right about there. Yeah, maybe not quite down there. Think about it. Right about a racket face below. So you'll drop the racket right about there. Okay, so you come up, because that's the height, because you match the height with your hand. Drop underneath, and come out and make contact. Try it out. That looks pretty decent. Can you do this without losing balance? It all starts with your load. Start with your right foot further back to your back on an angle, even further to your right by a small amount. There it is. Okay, good. So we let the racket lead, and then the hip uncoils. We push into the shot. Okay, try it out. A few times on your own. Yes, replicate. Yeah, get that snap. Okay. And then always catch the front of the racket on your side, okay? Careful not to stop, like snap the wrist and stop out in front. Okay, you don't really need to think about snapping the wrist too much. The racket rising, and as you turn over the ball, as you come through, it's going to do most of the work for you. Okay? One shadow swing, and then we go.